Let's bring him on. Drum roll. Boom, there it is. Can you bring him onto the stream, please, producer Rohan? Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, joining the Power Hour on this historic day. Yeah, amazing shirt, Tax the Rich. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so proud to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. And just like the shirt, I love the glasses, too.
No, listen, I just want to AOC, I bought this from her official site. I paid $62 for it. Her gross margin was 85%. My whole point about this is, listen, you really, when you talk about socialism, you're always finding somebody. She's a capitalist screaming to get out. She's making tons of dough. I said, call me, AOC. I want to help you blow these out. We can make a ton of money. Everybody I'm down here in Miami. Everybody stops me on the beach saying, hey, where can I get one of those? I want to get a 7% royalty. That's not too much.
So I mean, I think you could even demand more than that. Push her to 15. Her margins are still high enough.
We got to take these rich guys down, guys. We have to do that. This is an outrage.
Yeah. Now, so wait, what? So what do you think about all this stuff this morning, halting the trading? What do you think, Kevin?
Okay, so let me a few issues. Okay, my son called me last night at 10 o'clock and said, Dad, I've joined the tribe. We're going to stick it to the man. I invested $200. I made $699. And I said, Trevor, cash out, put that aside for the long term. And the whole point is we're democratizing investing. I got no problem if some random hedge fund dude goes down. I don't care. But the whole point is, in the old days, the hedge dudes would quietly short the stock, get on to cable news, issue really negative research, and then use their bully pulpit to pump out really bad stuff. Now they're fighting all of these, let's call them vigilantes, and I love it. I just love it. Do I care if a random hedge guy goes to zero? I couldn't give a beep. I don't care. But what I love about it, I have a half an hour dialogue with my son in his 20s about how shorting works, about how the markets work. He is excited to be educated about equities. This is great. So I'm giving a big shout out to Robinhood. Love it. Teaching people how to invest. Fantastic. I also think, do I want to sacrifice a hedge guy? No problem. Throw them under the bus. I don't give a damn. This is fantastic what's going on.
Yeah. And I love that point that you're making about the hedge funds always had a platform, right? It seems like everybody's trying to vilify the little guy and the fact that they can use social media to get their thoughts out there. I mean, it's no different than the hedge funds going on TV. And so, Kevin, let me ask you. We got an awesome question out of the chat before you came on, and the question was, if I'm new to investing, I'm just getting started, I don't have a ton of capital, how do you recommend I start getting involved in the markets?
So I'm telling everybody, because the Sharks were very involved in financial literacy before the pandemic. We would go, to Tennessee to a high school. We'd sell it out. Kids at 18-year-olds and younger love Shark Tank. And we would talk about investing for your own future. And I love that. Now we do it virtually. I tell everybody that's on Robinhood, day trade till your eyes explode. I don't care. Take 10% of your profits and put it aside for yourself. Invest in an index fund like an ETF and keep that out of the day trading stuff. I'm not against day trading, but that's not investing for your future. The whole idea of understanding and learning about stocks and bonds is wonderful. So I'm very, very happy that all these, this cohort that is becoming democratized thinks a lot about investing. That's cool because we don't teach it to them in high school. I'm an advocate for financial literacy. Jason knows that. We talked about it before. I brought bean stocks out just to help people index and put something aside for themselves for the long run. You put $400 a month aside for yourself, you end up with $1.5 million in 30, 40 years. That's the whole idea. That's what I'm trying to do. But what's going on with this, by the way, tune in tomorrow on Squawk Box at 8 o'clock because I'm going at it with some politician is trying to shut down Robinhood. I'm going to try and shut him down. This is ridiculous. I like financial literacy.
Yes.
Okay. So, but go ahead, Luke, and then I'll go. I have my question.
Well, I was just going to say, I love how you just attack it, right? You're just going head on into it. You have your opinions and you use the platform. I love it. But Jason, go ahead.
Well, no, Kevin does, and he takes a varying viewpoint from the average thing. I mean, Kevin was against PPP. He's in for tax breaks, but what this did is it made the wrong companies rich, and the companies that didn't know how to do all that accounting didn't get anything going. And I mean, Kevin, people thought he was not for small business. No, he's for small business, but he's for the ones that should survive. He doesn't necessarily believe that there needs to be as many movie theaters. Kevin says his viewpoint. Most people don't say their viewpoint, but they're thinking. And so it kind of sucks when you have that kind of person on. And Kevin says his viewpoint, and he's very smart when it comes to some of these things, except, the Tesla one, it took his son to get him smart on Tesla. And Kevin bought Tesla, though, at the exact right time. So it actually worked out.
Got me a Tesla, $230 before the split. I made a fortune.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You got it at the exact right time. You got it. Kevin actually, in hindsight, he had the best timing there was. It's actually hilarious. If you bought when he said,
I got Trevor into MindMed, and he even made more dough on that. And by the way, he now works.
We're going to get that.
He's in San Francisco working for them.
Yeah, he's working at Tesla now. And is this the son that bought whatever you were just talking about? Is this the one that you said he bought $600?
What is this, Dad? I said, this is all about, mental health and take some stock down. It was the best investment last year. And, so the young guy looked at the old man, and then he calls me up and says, hey, we're going to stick it to the man. I said, don't stick it to me. Stick it to the other guy.
Right.
I just love this rage against the machine stuff. I'm all for it. I really, as I said earlier, I don't care if a hedge fund guy goes to zero if he didn't figure out the risk of the herd coming after him. Imagine Trevor and all his buddies stayed up all last night to figure out who to go long to screw the hedge guys. I think that's fantastic.
No, I love that you're saying that, because I don't think people think that you would be saying that. I mean, they think that you would be like, hey, but that's your point is it's time.
I'm not shorting, but I can't stand it when some elite dude thinks he can beat the market. Well, guess what? It took a herd of 24-year-olds to screw them right into the ground. Get ready for that. That's the new world. The world is connected, just like we are right now. Some crazy hour, we get together, we have this conversation. Everything is visceral. Everything is powerful. Everything is now. It's communicating with people. It's cool. I love it. I just love it. And I think if you can't handle it, I don't care.
And it's crazy, Kevin. We broke the story today when Webull allowed trading again. We had like 60,000 retweets on this thing, but we had the CEO on our show live. He's telling us that they had to stop, and he explains the whole thing in the behind the scenes. And then he comes back on to say, we're live. And everyone's like, no, Jason, they're wrong. They're not live. I'm like, they are, and they were. And we broke that. Then we bring on Dave Portnoy because he's, going ranting against, a lot of this stuff that's going on. And then we bring on, we said someone else on. And then we're bringing you, it's like we're all so connected. You don't need to be this elite thing where you have to go to undergrad, then grad school, and then go be an investment banker and do this. I mean, Kevin O'Leary, guys, he was told to pick up gum or take a spoon to get gum off the floor at an ice cream parlor, and they still have you ever found that manager? Have you ever found the manager that told you that? Like 4 years ago, you looked for her, but you didn't find her. Should we get it? We have 22,000 people watching right now. Should we get them looking for her, or did you ever find that ice cream manager?
I'd love to find her, but I want to do a shout out for you, Jason and Benzinga. You guys champion the entrepreneur, the risk takers, people that, work 25 hours a day and risk it all. That's very cool. And I want to be supportive of that because I'm those are the people I invest in. And I think we got to champion those people because that is America. That is the essence of the capitalist dream. And every time somebody wants to attack it, I go back to the idea that there's no place like America. If you want to invest money, this is where you got to do it. And you're part of that. You've done a fantastic job. So I support you and whatever you guys want to do. But every once in a while, we get these crazy stories like GameStop. And I'm on the side of the little guy on this one. I really am. I love the fact that people said, I want power. I want the right to fight. I love this kind of stuff. This is Rocky running up the steps, baby. That's what this is.
Oh, that's a great analogy. Just Rocky running the steps, and I hear you. I mean, it's it is the power to the little guy. It's power, like how we can compete with Bloomberg. I mean, we have 4 million people on our site today, and we can have this kind of reaction. And now people are calling us about doing a SPAC. And I don't know what I'm going to do next with this thing. I don't know. I mean, the company is growing and all this stuff, and I don't know. I got to talk to you, Kevin. Let's roll this out in a SPAC because if I put a thing.
Jason, I'm a huge fan of you guys. You know that. I've been there. I've seen your offices in Detroit. I played the guitar in your stage. I just love what you do. You know that. I'm a huge fan. You want to do a SPAC? That's crazy chicken stuff. I've done that before too. By the way, I just want to tell everybody,
we need to talk about
GameStop's up $133 right now, up 68% in the after hours because they're going to bring it back on Robinhood. Look, Rage Against the Machine. That's what this is. That's what this is,
Kevin,
and I'm cool with it.
MMEDF. Can we talk MyMed for 4 seconds?
Yeah, we can. I love JR. I love the company. I love the mission. I'm a huge shareholder. People told me when I got into this, you're crazy. They were so wrong. JR was like worth $20 million, or that's what the market cap was when I got involved. He's worth like $1.5 billion now. And I think the company, if it can solve for addiction, can solve for opioid, it can solve for all the stresses of mental health. It's part of that momentum. I'm cool with it. Think about all the issues that people face. And listen, here's the real thing. They got a lot of FDA trials, tons of FDA trials, and that's really what I'm investing in. Lots of multiple outcomes. So MMED is a huge surprise. I didn't expect this, but Jason, I want to tell you something. My #1 performing position last year made me more dough than anything else I invested in. And when I met JR, I said, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. But sometimes you're wrong, and you got to listen. You have to shut up and listen. He was right. I was wrong. And wow, the guy just killed it. Think about anxiety.
How do you find you?
Fantastic.
How do you find this?
I met him on the beach in Miami when he was a crypto guy, trying to convince me to invest in some Iceland crypto deal. Nice. And then he said, forget that. I want to talk to you about all these ideas around mental health. And I had my guy who you've met, Alex Kenji, go investigate it. Yep. I said, boss, this is fantastic. This kid is really smoking hot with this idea. Dig in, write a check, stop your whining, just go into it, which is what I did. And Trevor got in, my daughter got in, I got everybody into it, and wowie, zowie. What an outcome.
And for everybody out there, the ticker is MMEDF on OTC. Again, that's MMEDF. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the description real quick.
Yep, and the stock has moved nice. They were at our conference a few months ago. It moved, and it's still moving, and it's starting to get mainstream recognition. I mean, when stuff gets more legalized, and Kevin said anxiety, and I didn't go there for a second. I wanted to ask the question how they met, but you guys, mental health is one of the most hidden secrets in this world that is terrible, because I guarantee, sadly, very sadly, everyone listening right now has known someone that has taken their life because of anxiety or depression.
11% of America was contemplating suicide in July. And 40%, everybody in a family knows somebody that's screwed up with mental health issues. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. This is my theme. I think this is going to be one of the biggest sectors in healthcare in the next 5 years. Anyways, it's an investment thesis I've had. Jason knows I've invested heavily. I'm long on it, and I like it. But what I love the most, what we're doing right now, this whole democratization of investing, very cool.
Yep. And then I think you're doing something with my buddies. I don't know if Griffin Johnson, Michael Gruen, you're doing some little thing. The TikTok guys, I saw on your Instagram. I don't know if you did it yet.
I'm doing that because, Jason, one thing you've taught me is the media has splintered into 1,000 fractions. You want to communicate with your base? I got to do it with you. I got to do it on TikTok. I got to do it on Twitter. I got to do it on Facebook. I got to do it on LinkedIn. It can't be just television. I'm a television dude. I'm all over television. But that's not enough anymore. What you're right now, you're building a network of your own right now. I'm here. I want to be supportive. we're communicating with people all 24 hours a day. I'm good with it.
Right. Right. And those TikTok guys, I hung out with them, and they're as popular as anyone I've ever seen. Not just with like the third graders. I was in Miami with them, and it was a different world. It was a different world. I actually went viral on one of those like sites because of the video. But no, we thank you for coming on. I think we got some of the good questions.
I really appreciate it. My wife is getting pissed because she wants me to make dinner. Do you know that I cook dinner every night? I'm the chef, Chef Wonderful. I am the man.
Love that.
She's the luckiest woman in the world. She just sits there, eats bonbons, and I make her every meal. It's fantastic.
With your favorite wine, I bet, too. Kevin's a big wine guy.
Oh, yeah. Believe me. Yeah. My Cabernet Sauvignon, just so I do a shout out, I've got a massive sale, 23rd, 24th at QVC, selling my award-winning cabs and Charts. Be there. I'll send you a case for $11 a bottle that you're going to love. But, Jason, anytime I can promote one of my entrepreneurial businesses, wine being one of them, I'm going to do it. But thank you for putting me on tonight. And tomorrow, guys, tune in to CNBC at 8:30. Let's rock and roll on this issue. I'm ready to rock.
All right, my man. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. Have a good dinner. Next time we'll all come over for dinner. All right. Thank you. All right, guys.
I'm a great chef. Just fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to taste it. I'll bring my wife, bring everyone. So thank you. All right. That's Kevin O'Leary.